Welcome to Impact Champions, the podcast where we talk about learning impact and how to make the most of your learning. My name's David, I'm the CTO and co-founder of ClearXP, and I'm here today with Andy.
Hello everybody, I'm Andy. I'm the Managing Director and co-founder of ClearXP.
Great to have you here, Andy. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be reviewing the new learning modes in both Google Gemini and ChatGPT. We're going to give them a bit of a head-to-head, see which one performs better, and if you can actually deliver any good learning out of them.
Exciting, let's do it.
All right, here we are with Google Gemini. We're going to start with Google and then we'll look at how ChatGPT stacks up against it. Now, how it works is you've got this little tool selection down the bottom, and what you can do is you can pick guided learning. Andy, have you seen this before?
I've heard about guided learning, and the things I heard was that as opposed to ChatGPT or just a straight chat prompt, you can use guided learning because it takes you on a bit more of a journey. Just using a chat prompt or a search and something giving you the answer isn't really the thing that's going to actually help you learn. You've got to be taken on a bit more of a journey of discovery and going down the wrong track or discovering things for yourself. Those types of things are the things that help us learn.
All right, so let's get started. I think to make this as relevant as possible, let's ask it to teach us about learning impact.
Great, good topic.
All right, you can see there's some suggestions right there, but I'm not going to take the suggestions. I'm going to say, what do you want to learn? I want to learn how to measure learning impact effectively.
Oh, great.
Away we go. So Gemini is now going through its worldview and knowledge and pulling all the relevant information to present to us in a format that will teach us about learning impact. So you can see the results there. Measuring learning impact is all about understanding how much a training or educational program has actually changed things. A very common way to structure this is using the Kirkpatrick model, which suggests 4 levels of evaluation. Yeah, do you agree with this?
I like its response at the beginning. You kind of went straight past it, but for the learner, for the team or the organisation, which is a good definition of measuring learning impact. And its use of Kirkpatrick, I think that's a really usual AI answer because it would have gone to all its reference points and gone through it, finding all of its citations, right? And when people on the internet are citing measuring impact, it would be done using Kirkpatrick. So it's provided the typical AI response. And then what's it doing? What's it asking us to do there?
Well, I guess I've given it a very broad topic there, measuring learning impact. So now it's asking us to drill in on specifically what exactly we want to learn, which is good rather than just taking a stab at it. What do you reckon? The 4 levels of Kirkpatrick in detail, key challenges people face when trying to measure impact, or talk about the difference between measuring learning and measuring performance?
Well, I feel like Kirkpatrick model's been done to death, to be honest. I'm really interested in finding out the key challenges people face. So I would say number 2.
Let's start with that. And I might also just add on to that and let's see how it handles when I throw a curveball. So we want to know about we want to learn about the key challenges.
Is this...
And also practical ways.
So I'm going to ask a learning and development question as we do this, as we go. As this is something we're reviewing from a learning and development perspective, right? So from a learner's standpoint, if you're asking me to be a learner and you're giving me Gemini guided learning, are you saying the experience is I've got to go in and type in every response I want based upon this? Is that how this works?
I think this is more for self-directed learning. So there's something that you realize you need to upskill in. And so, we deal with corporate learning all the time, which is why I've kind of put that into the prompt there. You might not have learning materials already available to you on your learning system. And so now this is like an alternative way to find information rather than Googling and doing the research yourself. It's giving you a shortcut to learn and upskill when you don't have a module provided out of the box. Yeah, so I went with key challenges, but I also asked it to teach practical ways to measure impact, and it's giving me the same 2 choices back to me. I guess it needs something super specific to drill into. So let's just go, all right, common challenges it is. All right, let's start with challenges. The biggest one is called attribution problem. It's difficult. The difficulty of proving that a specific training program directly caused a specific business outcome.
Good.
True.
Yeah.
For example, if sales go up after a sales training, how do we know it was the training and not a new marketing campaign, a competitor's stumble, or just seasonal changes? Really good point. How do we know? There's a few other common hurdles. Time lag. So yeah, after you complete the training, might be a while before that impact is actually demonstrated within the business.
Yes.
Lack of clear metrics. It's not straightforward to track things like, it is straightforward to track things like sales figures or production numbers, but it's harder to measure softer, crucial skills like improved communication, better teamwork, or high morale. Data collection, the challenges associated with that, and sifting through from different systems. Yeah, that feels pretty accurate to me. How are you feeling about this?
I think it's good. I've clearly, it's got some great citations and it's bringing some great source data in. I think it's very accurate.
Do any of these challenges feel particularly familiar or relevant to your situation?
It's interesting what they're asking for us. Yeah, they are. Can you type in just 2 and just see what it does?
Here we go. You knew you were going to get this question. Yeah, great choice. There isn't one single magic tool, but a combination of methods usually gives the best picture. We can think about these methods in terms of what they're trying to measure, from immediate knowledge gain to long-term business impact. Which of these practical approaches would you like to explore first? We're doing a lot of preamble before we get to the actual learning. I feel like if I'm a learner, true. I'm starting to get a bit turned off because it still hasn't taught me anything. It's still just trying to figure out what to teach.
It is true, but again, we did give a very abstract topic. We didn't ask a specific question.
Let's just go with one. Let's just move through this. Let's try and get it to teach us something.
Using assessments. Okay.
Yeah, using assessments. Considering assessment focus. I tell you what, it doesn't take too long to respond. You have to wait 3 to 5 seconds, but it's not too bad. Yeah, assessments are the way to answer the question, did they learn it? The most common and effective way to do this.
Great.
The before and after approach, a pre and post assessment. We're big fans of that.
Love a pre and post assessment.
Yep. Because this literally is the way to say, hey, before the training, I was at this level, and after the training, I was at a different level.
Absolutely.
These assessments don't have to be formal tests. They could be quizzes, skill demonstrations, or even self-ratings. Yep, that's from our experience, that's all true.
Absolutely, it is.
Let's make this practical. I love it.
Good.
If you're running a training in workplace safety, what's one thing you might want to measure in a before assessment? And so I think this is where we start to get to the learning angle of Gemini, where it's forcing us to think about the problem and answer the question.
Yes.
Which increases retention. What's the learning theory? What's the learning theory application it's trying to do here?
First of all, it's making you apply the thinking to your own circumstances. That's based on the theory of constructivism. So you're seeing what the examples are, and then you're applying your own circumstances to that in order to be able to construct your understanding of it. And it's relating it back to your workplace as well, because it needs to be relatable. So yeah, it's got some solid theory there. Interesting to see what happens next. So I think to answer its specific question, if you're running a training on workplace safety, what's one thing you might want to measure in a before assessment? I got to say workplace incidents, right? Because knowing that after the training, I want to see those incidents go down. That to me seems the most natural response. So I'm going to chuck that in there. To get started, would you rather explore? Yeah, okay, so now we're back to the branching choices again. Different types of incidents, what's crucial. I really want to know how to measure it. That's because this is the whole thing. We want to be able to determine if there is learning impact. Yeah. Can we, so I feel like we'll probably go around in a bit of a cycle with guided learning doing this.
Yeah.
I wonder if we could change the mode, and this is just a interesting.
Get rid of guided learning.
Get rid of guided learning, and just leave it as whatever it does by default. And then just sort of put in a prompt saying, can you provide a structure of a course about reducing workplace incidents or something? Whatever we're trying to achieve with the...
Well, what we wanted to achieve was how do I measure the impact?
Yes.
Of workplace safety.
As a structured...
Workplace safety training.
Yeah.
As a structured...
or suggest the layout or structure of a course, online course about determining the impact of workplace safety training.
Oh, right. So you want it to build a course on measuring impact for workplace safety.
Yeah.
Gotcha. As opposed to just giving you the response. Okay.
Which is probably not the way.
Okay, so it's like,
which is probably unfair because it might not be how the education mode of this is actually intended.
Say teach me how to do
It'd be interesting to see the difference between guided learning and what this does.
Yeah, that is a good contrast, right? Because you were really stuck. We were stuck in. I mean, it says guided learning, but we're stuck in the rails of like how it wanted to do things. Yeah, so now it's just kind of like rather than pushing you through that step-by-step process, it's just giving you much the same information as like a raw dump.
The difference is because previously you were in the shoes of the learner and it was guiding you through a specific topic and asking you what it thought was relevant questions. This one has provided an outline of a course, so you're in the shoes of a content owner that's now going to take this and present it in a way however fitting to your audience, which is the traditional approach to how corporate learning and development works. I was probably looking at it from a traditional sense, as much as I like to say that I am forward thinking and embracing AI. I made this do something that was traditional. I took the AI and made it essentially create a storyboard for me.
Yeah. Wherein
what we did first is a very new way of looking at delivering training. So, and it possibly will be the way that it's done in the future. But I invariably just went straight to this, which was really interesting from my own experience as well.
Yeah, my feeling from the guided learning is it was taking a bit too long to get to like the guts of actually like understanding the concepts.
Yeah, that's right.
And maybe it was just we just didn't pick the right topic to learn about. Maybe it was too broad, too overarching. But even on that very last question, I don't know if we can get back through the history. We can, yeah. So it very quickly went off learning impact and started asking us how to learn about workplace incidents. And this is no longer like what we originally wanted to learn. Our guided learning was how do I measure learning impact.
That's true.
And now it's like, and just through the process, it's starting to teach us about something that we weren't really that interested in. Workplace incidents was just an example of something that we want to measure. I don't need to know about the incidents themselves. I've already got information. I already have that knowledge.
Can I go back a bit further then, just to see something? Because you're right. Let's recap. Because we were going use assessments to measure what people learned, so we selected one. Assessments are a great way of assessing whether they learned. Could you, when we did that one, could you see where it says show thinking?
Oh yeah, true. After the
there, let's see what it's doing.
I mean, this is fantastic that they actually have this. They can see how it went from the prompt to the response. Yeah, I've homed on emphasis on assessments, analyzing learning gains, examining the pre-post test.
A relatable scenario. There we go. We were talking about that before, about it being relatable, and that's that principles of adult learning and principles of education. Emphasising the pre-post, my goal is to craft helpful, practical. So it was trying to be practical. So therefore, it gave it a workplace context. So that's where that scenario of workplace incidents came from.
Yeah. Yeah, but then it's just like, and then it went off the rails.
Yeah.
It forgot what we were originally trying to learn. This is the thing. This is my biggest gripe with it. And look at the thinking here. I've established that the learner is likely an adult in a professional setting looking for a broad understanding of workplace incidents. It's not true. That's not what I was looking for.
Not true at all. No, it kind of just, based upon the last selection you made, it's just now gone completely down different rabbit hole, which is not ideal. And it certainly isn't what we want when we're trying to deliver effective workplace training, because it needs to be consistent and it needs to be clear. If you throw in these things and you're trying to deliver outcomes in workplace training, it's going to send people off in all kinds of directions. You wouldn't be able to do this.
Yeah.
I don't think. In workplaces, as a tool to help people with their studies, to nut out a specific problem. Maybe from your perspective, from a coding problem, for a programming problem, like if you're trying to figure out how to learn how to do a certain algorithm or something, would that be more?
But you wouldn't do guided learning for that anyway. You would just look up how to do it.
Well, you would now because you're in a professional environment. Just want to get stuff done.
I mean, I could see you using guided learning for like a new technology or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe like a new programming language. But again, those are broader topics, and seeing how quickly it went off track here, I can't help but feel the same thing would happen again.
Yeah. 100%.
Maybe there is a use case that it did give us some suggestions when we first opened it. Like maybe we just were way too far off. There you go. Thank you. Yep. Tricky math problem. Right. Brainstorm ideas. Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's not going.
That's not specific enough anyway.
No, that's just terrible.
It's going to ask. It's going to ask me what the math problem is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly right. I mean, I feel like I've seen enough of Gemini. Do you want to check out?
I want to get out of Gemini. I don't like it.
All right. And so ChatGPT, again, you use the little drop down and you say, study and learn. And here are the suggestions here. Help me with my homework. Explain a topic to me. Create a practice quiz.
So that's better already.
Yeah. What did we say? Like, I want to learn how to measure learning, how to effectively measure learning impact.
Yeah. I bet you it says Kirkpatrick.
Well, statistically, like this is how the LLMs work. Statistically, they're going to find the most likely response. A corporate training workplace setting, like tracking ROI and behavior change, or more in an academic or classroom context, like student learning. This is
great.
fair. This is fair.
That's better. Yeah, okay.
Gathering the context. What's your current level of experience? I like this as well, right? What's your current level of experience with this topic? Have you done any measurement before, or are we starting from scratch? So that's not going to teach us concepts that we might already know. And then we get into it. So this is good. It's a little bit more open-ended. It's not giving us like 3 preset responses.
Correct, yeah.
It just wants a little bit more detail.
Yeah.
So we're going to say workplace setting.
We are.
Some experience with measuring learning impact using pre-post assessments.
Is that what it was asking us?
Let's ask what your experience level with the topic was.
With the preeminent world leaders?
Well, just to see if it comes back. She's like,
okay.
I've got nothing left to teach you.
We're just pretending that we're not. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Putting ourselves in the mindset of someone who might be watching this podcast. Not much else. Let's go. See what you got, GPT. To move towards learning impact. Okay, wow. All right, I think I've learned something there. Like, learning effectiveness is not the same as learning impact. You want to connect those gains to real workplace outcomes, like performance, productivity, or behavior change.
Great.
Clarify what impact means in your organization. Different companies define impact differently.
Agreed.
Sales training, always the classic example.
Mm-hmm.
Increased revenue or higher close rates. For a leadership program, it might mean improved team engagement or reduced turnover. Accurate.
Yeah.
In your organization, what kind of outcomes would show that learning is actually making a difference beyond test scores? Once you share that, I'll show you how to link these outcomes to measurable indicators and design a simple impact framework, like a lighter version of Kirkpatrick or Phillips ROI. How do you feel about this?
I feel considerably better about this than I did with the Gemini model.
It shows promise.
It does show promise.
So what was the question there?
What kind of outcomes would show learning is actually making a difference?
Beyond test scores.
Beyond test scores.
Okay. What do you reckon? What do you want to put it?
The workplace incidences we worked with before. Remember how Gemini came and said workplace incidences?
Yeah.
So let's see what it does with that.
We'll give it a like-for-like comparison. That seems fair.
Correct.
Reducing workplace incidents.
I bet you it says great response. That is a really important thing.
Classic sycophant. Yeah. No matter what I say, excellent. I am excellent. It's a clear and measurable goal. Reducing workplace incidents means your focus is on a behavioral change and safety outcomes, not just knowledge. Let's build your impact chain around that. This is giving us like more concrete content. Like build the logic chain from learning to impact. Training goes to learning, goes to behavior, goes to results. So learning, do employees understand safety procedures? And then we've got our pre-post test assessments that we talked about. Behavior, do they apply safe practices on the job? So now you can have those supervisor checklists, observations, and self-reports. And the results are incidents actually decreasing. So number of workplace incidents, near misses, lost time, injuries. I love that because it's giving you actual concrete metrics that you can start to collect and correlate.
I will say, it does feel a little bit like just a usual ChatGPT session.
It's not so much learning, is it?
No, like, and the reason I was like, after we've done all this, what's it asking you to do? Would you like us to design a impact measurement plan? And we're like, well,
that's not really. Yeah, you're right. That's just a standard ChatGPT response.
That's not teaching me anything. Both of them started off like they're going to be able to, and Gemini did it a little tiny bit. We thought it was going to get there, but it didn't. And this started off really strongly as well with the questions and the things. But it doesn't take long for it just to fall into a standard GPT interaction.
Chat style. Yeah. Question response type thing.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's, again, what we're asking it to do. Maybe it's the questions we're asking, but I mean, I really liked how it asked at the beginning, what context are you in? And we were like, well, we told it. And then it really just gave us standard stuff that's citing from online sources, which is obviously where it's all can get. It isn't. It is informative. It's giving you the information.
Yeah.
But it gives you the information anyway. The study mode isn't enhancing it at all.
You got to wonder what does the study mode actually change with the responses?
Well, this is the thing, right? So maybe what's going to be the difference if we turned off study mode with this now? We do the same thing we did with Gemini.
Yeah.
Do the same prompt where we were
yeah, I'll just do it down here, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say go back into Gemini and just copy exactly what you copied from Gemini and put it straight into here.
Here we go. This is an apples for apples comparison. Oh, now it's a much quicker response. It's no longer thinking.
Yeah, see, it's certainly referencing the same source material.
Yeah, which makes sense. They're all trained on the same.
Of course it is.
I think this is still related more to learning impact. I feel better about the response for some reason, and I don't know why.
From ChatGPT?
Compared to the Gemini one.
Yeah.
How to measure pre-post assessments, example questions, manage observations, safety audits, review safety reports. No, maybe it's more or less the same. I think this is just a classic ChatGPT thing where it just spaces things out. The tables, the dot points. It's just a bit easier to digest.
There's a couple of nice looking emojis.
The emojis, of course.
Which I don't know if they're nice looking anymore. I just find them annoying.
Yeah, yeah. And it also gives you a way, like, just a bigger output.
I like how it's. I mean, that's the thing that these things do well. It does suggest a nice timeline, like.
Oh yeah, example timeline for safety module.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Hey, here's my graph as well. Right, I like is the safety module, like 6 months. Well, that's for the ROI calculation.
Yep.
Pre-assessment, deliver module, reaction, post-assessment. So, 1 week. 1 week to deliver. I mean, in reality, like in corporate learning environment, that's probably going to be a 1 day thing, like 15-minute module, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going the same as we've been for a long time with AI. This is a fantastic tool to help you get things started. But if you were to present this to executive level saying this is what we're going to do, and it had this type of logic in it, you couldn't present this. You'd have to have a very smart human applying their logic to it before you show anybody, I would say.
Yeah, I think that's fair. All right, so that's the difference between ChatGPT and Gemini. What are your thoughts? Neither of them were overly compelling, but did you have a preference for the angles between ChatGPT versus Gemini, which one might be slightly better or worse?
I think from a workplace learning perspective, I prefer ChatGPT. I'd be interested to try out something like Gemini when I'm trying to help my son with his homework, for example, because I think that might have a better application of it. But for workplace training, I think that ChatGPT, for me, seemed to be working better. Gemini, the way that it went off onto a different tangent and it seemed to forget our conversation pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I didn't really like that. I know it's fairly early on, but for mine, the guided learning wasn't great. And for both of them, they seem to really, the guided learning element of it got lost fairly quickly. It wasn't very long till I felt like I was just in a normal GPT conversation.
Yeah, I agree with that. It was really interesting to then compare with like, if I just asked it straight off the bat, what would it give us?
Yeah.
And it does feel like the learning modes are just like this little lip service layer on top of your just basic chat model. It's not doing a whole lot of learning theory there, or even like just structuring the output to be more like, it did feel like Gemini wanted to do that. It just wasn't very good at it.
It's true. It could be that it didn't have enough source material based upon our prompts.
Yeah.
We were asking about something that is fairly abstract. Like it only had a few things to talk about, Kirkpatrick, Phillips, a few models that are being talked about commonly. It did mention the thing that we talk about, the impact is very subjective, so
Yeah.
it's different, means different things to different people. So maybe that wasn't fair, but I don't know. I think that it would be a fairly common experience, what we had, to most people's queries.
I think like my view on AI based learning is the advantage, like in contrast to traditional learning techniques, which are like static piece of content, top down, here's the information you need to learn. AI's advantage is really that it can tailor content to the individual.
Yes.
And so you saw a little bit with this the ChatGPT example where it asked me what my experience level was.
Yes.
And then it could have, it's hard to tell how much it changed it. But really, like, when you have a fully integrated AI system with your data and learning content, it should be able to vastly change that to suit what my individual strengths and weaknesses are.
Yeah.
And the other thing I think is like contextualizing it as well for the individual.
Correct.
So it should know what my role is, what industry I work in, and then completely tailor the content and the examples to what is relevant to me. Yeah. And that's really what we want to see from AI generated learning.
Correct. I think that's one of the things that a lot of people are excited about, the ability for it to do that. We were using a proprietary open version of it, so it didn't have any specific information about us loaded into it at all. Or nothing about any organisations. So I agree. When that's loaded in, I feel like it is going to be a change, and I experienced it myself as a learning designer. I took a while to get my head around. I want to see a structured outline of a course, so do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like I physically did it in that thing, as opposed to, I'm comfortable sitting in our dynamic learning experience where this prompt is taking me in all directions. Even though, from a theory perspective, I'm aware that actually that's how people do learn, as opposed to my structured SCORM course.
Do you have anything else to add?
I do not.
All right, well, this has been Impact Champs. Thanks for joining us. Please like, subscribe, tell your friends. Check out other AI functionality and let us know if you find something that works really well. We'd love to hear about it. See you later.